Hello and welcome to Highcalibre TV, your source for figure model updates every Wednesday and Friday. So today on the Workbench, I'm going to be showing my the continuation of my work in progress on the Alpine Miniatures 1/16 scale Kurt Meyer figure. And here in my hand is the base that I'm using. And I want to start by apologizing for not updating this figure for a couple of weeks. It's been, I guess, because I actually ran out of this, the masking tape. Just as I was about to progress onto the base and get him completely finished for IPMS Vancouver this year, I completely ran out of masking tape and just couldn't, find the time to go out and get some more from the shop. So I've got some now, and I've wrapped it up. And the terracotta looking stuff is actually milliput, and this is my first time using it on a base, and I'm really, really pleased with the results. I've heard a lot of people use it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Since I had some finish issues with my previous method on the last base that I did, I wasn't at all happy with the way it turned out, and it turned out to be really, really fragile. But this stuff is like actual putty when it dries. It's solid and it's reliable, and it's actually really, really easy to work with. So I highly recommend using milliput. And the green and the white are just the same stuff that I've been using previously. The white stuff is Squadron body fill, and the green stuff is Citadel green stuff, liquid green stuff, that is. Yeah, it's just on a solid wooden base. His feet fit perfectly. As you can see, these are the imprints I made with him while it was in the setting stage, before it turned really hard. And I just textured it with a knife blade and a leveling sculpting tool, and I tried to make it look random, like mud. Nothing particularly exciting. I didn't want the base to be the main feature of the figure. It's just, it grounds him in a reality. As I've said before, the base is primarily there, especially if it's just something small like this, to ground him in a reality and give him, an anchor to the world that surrounds him. Even though you can't see the rest of it, you can tell that he exists in situ. So there you go. So here's the base after it's had a few really thin but very determined coats of Vallejo gray primer on it. And it's at this stage in any surfacing that you can sort of get an idea of what the finished product is going to look like. Texture-wise, you can get an idea of where the shadows should be. Maybe you want to add some extra texturing or some flock or, a bit of grass or something like that to it. You can determine that now. So far, it looks pretty good. It's got that random earthen look to it. I didn't want the base to be, as I said, the main feature on this figure. I just wanted it to sort of ground him. So far, so good. So here is Herr Meyer with his carbine. He's all together basically except for his head, which will be, of course, the last thing to go on. And I just wanted to touch on the scarf detail, which is where on this figure you get the uniqueness. You get to put sort of your own personal signature on the figure with the scarf, since the cloak is going to be field gray no matter what you do. Various types of field gray depending on how you want it to look. And the carbine is going to look like a carbine. But the scarf, he may or may not have had a particular personal scarf that he was wearing at the time in the photograph. I haven't looked it up or bothered to attempt to, investigate the particular colors through the black and white photography. So what I started with, and I posted a picture on on Twitter a while ago of my intention for the scarf. And I intended it to be this sort of hipster red, a vibrant red with a black cross sort of pattern on it, something really simple. And as I continued with it, it became more elaborate and less interesting to look at, and it just ended up looking really uninteresting, basically. So I took a look around and came up with this. This is a personal scarf of mine. I don't remember where I got it, but that doesn't really matter. I decided to go with this. It's simple, it's gray, but there's a bit of blue in it. So this is my pattern that I'm going to be attempting to replicate. And just on a note with that, if you can take anything in reality and use it as a reference, it's, you know, it's just added value and it makes a lot more sense. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for today. Thanks very much for watching. For figures like this guy and many, many more, be sure to check us out at highcalibreminiatures.com. Links in the description as always. Follow us on Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter for daily stock updates and Workbench photos. We just got the new Alpine stuff in. I think I mentioned that last week. And I love them. The 2 new figures and a bunch of the previously released 1/16 scale stuff that we hadn't had in stock, we now do have it. And they are perfect Christmas gifts. Take my word for it, from personal experience, getting one of those under the tree is a real treat. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. Oh yeah, we've got more Evolution stuff coming in. A boatload of Evolution figures are on the way. They're in transit right now, so stay tuned for that. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.